What's up guys, Woo here, back again with another Division 2 build video. Guys, this one is all about the Striker drone and the Assault turret, dealing some really insane carnage, utilising these two skills and a couple of talents that elevate the damage to astronomical levels. We're talking 143k damage on the Striker drone, we're talking 229k damage on the Assault turret, and this is a Frankenstein build. Yes guys, that is also OP. It's powerful. Again, this is great. If you don't like explosives, you want something different from the norm, then this is something that may be up your street. But of course, if you enjoy the video, thumbs doodle, it helps. And yes, if you're not subbed to the channel, drop the woo bomb on the sub button, ding the bell to be notified when I upload my shizzle. Guys, let's woo this. Okay then peeps, yes, this is my awesome, crazy build for PvE. This is centered around, again, the Assault turret and the Striker drone, dealing damage, a lot of damage over time. This is a really good build. Again, there are much simpler ways to run. You know that, guys. You can roll Seeker Mines if you wanted to. You can roll the Hive Stinger if you wanted to. But if you want to roll a combo like this, this is powerful. It really is. And it's really good solo. And again, in a 4-man heroic, it is really super duper strong. And of course, this will do wonders in legendary content. Legendary content now is all about skill builds, guys. It really is. My clan mates do 4-man skill builds using turret and seekers or drone and seekers. And guys, it works a treat. This build is crazy. So guys, Technician is my chosen specialization. Now, before we go any further, someone always states in the video, they always do in the comment section, guys, no, just listen. If I had a piece that had armor on it, yeah, guys, armor as the core attribute, then I would use that with Technician. That's true. But I don't. I don't have a really top tier piece that's armor, that has max skill damage and some nice skill haste. I don't have that. So that's why I'm not utilizing it. If I did, I would. Okay, well, now we can move forward. So guys, Technician specialization, and I'm using this because I want that 10% skill damage, and that's going to help elevate the build and get the turret up to 229k damage. I'm using 3-piece hardwired. 3-piece hardwired, not 4. 3. Yeah, it's crazy, but it works. So the key with this is you need 2-piece Hanu, 1-piece Wyvernware, and again, utilising this because 2-piece Hanu gives you 10% skill haste, 10% skill damage, and Wyvernware we know gives you 10% skill damage. So skill tier 6, 726k armor, 280k health, and 6 skill tiers. Let's go for the build. Okay guys, the first piece of the build is hardwired, and that's the mask. And I'm rolling with 2-piece and 3-piece. So the 2-piece will give me 15% skill haste, the 3-piece will give me 15% skill damage and 15% repair skills. There's no repair skills on the build, but still, it works. It is what it is. I can't re-roll that, but okay, it is what it is. So guys, yes, feedback loop is not active. And again, I'd have to utilise that on the backpack or the chest piece, but the chest piece and backpack offer me more damage-wise, so I'm not using the 4-piece. Skill damage is the attribute of choice. You have to go max skill damage on every single piece because that will absolutely pay dividends to do so. And skill haste is the utility mod here as well. Now the second piece of hardwired is again is simple, guys. The song remains the same all the way through this. 10% skill damage. And then we have the holster, which is God Roll. It's God Roll. Skill tier, skill haste, skill damage, and of course it's Wyvernware. You have to have one on the build. It's just essential because 10% skill damage goes a long way. And the gloves is the third piece of hardwired, and that is, again, you can see, guys, yep, 10% skill damage. You can see it is awesome. Now let's go through the pieces that have talents, and they're both Hanu. I'm using Hanu and this piece because it has, again, the name talent. It is Force Multiplier. So Hanu use 10% skill haste and skill damage. With this, you can see it's 1 skill tier. I have 7.6% explosive resistance, 10% skill damage, 11.8% critical hit damage, and I'm rolling with a talent Perfect Combined Arms. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. This is great. Again, it's consistently up. Again, if you have a nice little whack of health, you can just consistently shoot. Once you see the weapons, you can see how I've got it synergized. It works really well on this build, and it elevates it to a different level. You can use, if you wish, tech support, which you get a little bit less damage, but that is up more of the time. But again, it is entirely up to you. I like this. Now, my perfect combined arms piece, both times I've had to roll with offensive stats, and I had to put skill damage on there. Now, if you roll it with, or it already comes with skill damage on there, happy days, good sign. Then what I would perhaps do is take off the offensive mod and use a utility mod for that extra bit of skill haste. But guys, it's entirely up to you. Whatever floats your boat, really. This setup works for me. And then the chest piece is the second piece I hand you, with skill haste, skill damage, and 11.6% critical hit damage. And as I said before, on the last piece, if you have skill damage on there already, then don't worry about the second attribute. Then perhaps roll off, roll off the offensive mod, which is crit damage. You can see the 11.6% for a utility mod that gets some more skill haste, and that will again help you a little bit more. But still, this works for me because when you look at it, guys, in a group, someone's always rolling the coach's mask, so I'm going to get an extra 23.4%, whatever it is, critical hit damage, and that will help, and that'll give me a little bit more damage output from my primary weapon. But the talent on this is kinetic momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill. So that's an extra 15% damage. Works really nice, and I mean really nice on this particular setup. And it deals some really good damage. I'll demonstrate in the range shortly. But kinetic momentum is great on this setup. The good thing is with this is you have two skills that consistently up and consistently dealing damage. So both stacks are going to be max consistently. I like that. And again, if you're rolling with a healing skill, if that's your choice, then that extra, again, you're looking at 2%, times it by, again, you're doubling it effectively, that 15 stacks. That's 30%. 30% extra skill repair, and that works a dream on the setup because you're going to get some extra skill repair if you go for that healing skill. I've gone for 2 damage skills, and that's an extra 15%. Works an absolute treat. So guys, the weapons, primary weapon is the Surge, and I'm using that because, guys, yeah, perfect spike. It's simple. So that's headshots grant plus 25% skill damage for 8 seconds. Again, just continually pop this, and it refreshes over time. Again, I like this weapon. I like the talent. I wish it had a bit more oomph to it, but again, beggars can't be choosers. But try to roll as an attribute damage to armor, because that will reflect in your skill damage also. So make sure you have damage to armor as an attribute on the Surge. It helps. In terms of mods, guys, critical hit chance, critical hit chance, critical hit chance, and just more rounds. My secondary is the Glory Days, which is a really nice AR. And I'm using that not for the damage at all. I'm using that to shake things up. Again, if I want that combined arms to be procced, again, if I've got my drone consistently out there, I can't really get any headshots, or again, you're trying to shoot from afar, whichever way it may be. I like to switch to this because you are on point with this and you're consistently procking perfect combined arms because you have 100% stability. So it works an absolute treat on this build. I like this. Again, not for the damage, just for the consistent procking of the backpack. In terms of mods on the AR, and that is critical hit chance, rounds, crit hit damage, and critical hit chance. And my sidearm is the Maxim 9. It's 11% pistol damage, 9% headshot damage, perfect spike again. And I'm using that again simply because if we're running heroic missions, and again, someone put all the directives on to make it more difficult, or hopefully more loot drops, then it doesn't for me. But yeah, if there's more loot dropping, then again, you're going to run out of ammo. Perfect spike on the Maxim 9 is consistently up, and you've got that consistent 25% extra damage against NPCs. Now the skills, guys. First skill is a striker drone, and that's got a 15.4 second cooldown. Again, we know the skill haste could be a tad better, but I don't care. It's in a good place. 80k damage, that's base. This elevates, when I'm playing solo or in a group and there's no extra buffs to my skills, 143k damage, which is kind of tasty. If you have more, then please let me know below. I'd love to see how you're rolling. Again, 120% striker damage, 420% health, and again, it's skill tier 6. In terms of mods, there's duration. You want duration on there. Damage and health. You want duration because you want it to last a little bit longer. And then you have your second skill, which is the Assault Turret. It's a 15.4 second cooldown. Again, it could be a few seconds less. You can get it down to 12, 11 seconds if you wish. But it's all about that damage. 128,269. And that has had a really sweet point in terms of damage because my watch level is based on skill damage. So that's at 10%. Every piece of the gear is at 10%. I'm going to get 15% from Hardwired. And then I'm going to get the kinetic momentum buff. And then also going to get the buff from Perfect Combined Arms. So 229k damage. That's what I'm hitting regularly with this setup. And it melts. It just melts any NPC like butter. And in mod-wise, it is damage. It is duration, and it is duration. I've gone for that. You could go for skill haste if you wanted. That is entirely up to you. I've just opted for duration, so it's up longer. If you opt for skill haste, and I'll show you this, guys, you can't use it on that one. You could use health if you wish. Duration on that one, you can, again, you're shaving off a second. A second, guys. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't care. I'd rather it be up a little bit longer than just have a second back. In all honesty, guys, that's the way I feel. Now, in terms of this as well, if it just go back into the turret, there is, again, this 10% damage mod, which is Demolitionist. You could say, yeah, I get 5% extra damage if I went the route of Demolitionist because I've got 6 skill pieces, but I'm missing out on 10% skill damage. Yes, guys, 10% skill damage. So, by switching to Demolitionist, I gain 5.2, but I'm going to lose 10%. So, guys, I'd rather it be this way. Technician, yeah, it's a great specialisation. It's my favourite one. It's all about finding that go-to piece on the gear that is armour that has max skill damage. If you have, then jobs are good and you're in a good place. But I haven't, therefore this is what it is. But again, you rarely need it, guys. You just rarely need that extra little bit of armour. It doesn't matter. So in terms of, yeah, the one last thing, guys, is skill haste isn't a great deal. I'm not really spec'd into that. I'm all about damage, and that's what it is on this build. So, again, we know the damage is on the weapons. It's not a lot. It's not about that on this build. It's all about proccing the two skill variants to deal some nice damage. 62.8% skill haste, and which is, again, it's not great, but again, I've spec'd heavily into that lovely jubbly skill damage. In terms of damage from the weapons, if you want to see them, you can see on my primary the Surge, 15% critical chance, 69% critical damage, 60% headshot damage, and in terms of all damage bonus, you can see it's not a great deal, but it's not, again, the setup of the build. I don't set it up like that. I've set it up based on both skills, wrecking. Now, guys, let's demonstrate in the range. Now, for kinetic momentum to work and to activate in the range, you need to cause some, again, you need to lose a little bit of health. So let's just damage self. Once that happens, you can see kinetic momentum is procced on both skills. So let's just change this up to medium, and let's change it again to hard, and let's change it again to very hard. And then firstly, we're going to proc the turret. Sorry, the striker drone. Let's look at the damage. 104k. Let's just have a headshot. 143k. You see there, guys, it's not bad. It's not bad getting that nice little bit of damage as well. 143k on the drone. I'll take that all day long. How about the turret? Let's take a look. Okay, let's proc the headshot. 229k. And you can see how quickly it rinses through the armour of NPCs. Look at them, I'm shooting. That's 186, 166. Let's just get a headshot in there. Let's proc. Yeah. Again, these are very hard NPCs. And they've been shredded. Absolutely shredded. And this is why I'm using Perfect Combined Arms and also Kinetic Momentum, because it tallies up with the Striker drone to get me some nice damage. You can see the bottom on the hood. Both are proc. They're at 15% damage extra. Now, you could use Glass Cannon. That may work, but again, you are super, super squishy, guys. And the thing with Glass Cannon, what you need to be careful of, if you're not rolling with something high damage like a Seeker Mine or Hive Stinger, then you are very susceptible to go down very, very quickly, because we know that the assault turret and the striker drone are not one-shots. They don't work straight from the off. It takes time to build up that momentum, but it's a consistent tick of damage. So for me, I wouldn't roll glass cannon on this. I'd roll kinetic momentum, because as you can see, it is beautiful. The damage is great. Let's just have one more on there, and you can see. And plus, I have tried it with a particular variant of glass cannon. I get to about 210 damage. So I'm getting some nice sexy damage utilizing the kinetic momentum and perfect combined arms. It's a really nice setup. You can see 229k damage, and there's a lot of ticks there, and it just shreds through armor and health. But guys, yeah, hope you enjoyed the build. This is my awesome assault drone build. I've been using this in PvE heroic missions, and it works. It really, really does. Again, you're not going to be standing out in lights with this build. It's not what it's about. It's about the consistent damage over time, and it's a beautiful, nice tick, and it's all about stacking that nice damage as well. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, thumbs doodle, and of course, if you're not subscribed, WOOO bomb sub button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.